welcome back. And if anybody's followed my shorts, you'll see that I have previously showed some of this. This is an HP Pavilion 1G. Now, this one was originally designed for Windows 98, but as you can see right here, it says Intel Pentium 3 Windows 98. I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm going back to Windows 98 on this. Now, this one's going to be a bit of a interesting system to begin with. For one thing, it's kind of an oddball. And I'll get to that. But the short kind of gave some of it away. But this one is definitely odd. And I actually kind of enjoy odd systems. So, I've gotten into this thing a little bit. I wanted to verify a few things, check up on a few things, and as you can see, this is as far as I've gotten so far. I'm going to save the best part for last, but one of the viewers commented on the short that take a minute to show the cards, so I'm going to do that. And first off, is I already pulled this one out earlier after I filmed the short. I cleaned it off a little bit. Now, this one is a CT6970, which is the GeForce 256 with DDR. It has 32 megabytes of DDR RAM. Really, really nice little card. And fan is actually in good shape. So, fingers crossed this thing actually works pretty well. Now, typically, whenever I rebuild one of these systems, piece of plastic on the pins. When I rebuild one of these systems, I put it upstairs in my shed here and save it for later, or a future video or something. Maybe do a look back on something. So that's what I've been doing with these. The next card is the USB. It's an NEC one. Really, that's pretty nice little card too. And knock some of that dust off of it. And I know this brush does not have any static. It's an anti-static one, as close as I can get without actually getting the real official thing. But this brush has worked out great for me. That was an NEC USB. Nothing fancy about it, just a really nice little card. I did notice they put their little cover over that, so we're going to peel that off and see exactly what model. So it's a D-Link, kind of make it out a little bit. D-Link something or other, revision A1. See if I can get some more of that off. Hey, it might be fruitful here. Oh, maybe. Yeah, got something here. So it's a D-Link DRU-A5, revision A1. So, and I'm assuming this was an add-on into this system, but I could be wrong. It could have been pre-built and they ordered it with it. Because the motherboard only comes with, wow, 3 USBs. It's kind of weird. So, yeah, different. And here we have the Sound Blaster Live CT4830. It's actually a nice live card. It's actually got the headers on here for the drive bay adapters. Or inserts, I should say. Okay, that was CD. And again, we'll knock the dust off of here. Now this board does not have any audio headers on it, so obviously they needed to put this on here, and I'll show this on the backside later, but ooh, If anybody hears the grumbling, it's my stomach. You have one issue right there. I need to push that back into place. But we do have the digital out, and the rest of it, mic and out, and all that happy jazz there for that card. Now, I think this is the modem. Probably not going to keep it in there. And is... Yep, just a standard modem. I can't tell what speed it is. Nothing super fancy about it. I never use modem anymore anyway, so I do miss the sound of dialing out, but I don't miss enough to get a line ran out here just to play with a modem. You catch my drift there. This one is the network card. Intel chip. A lot of spider and cobwebs on there. Those out of the way. So. This one I will keep in because you never know when I might decide to use it. It is a 100TX. And yeah, they put their little part number over this. This one was equipped from the factory or from the build with that in the modem. So I'm going to dust a few of these things off here and make it a little more happy in here. Just do some little happy strokes. Just happy strokes, a little cloud here. Move some of that dirt around down there, build up a nice little pile. And poof! One quick clean. No, I'm joking. I'll end up cleaning it out later. So, the stars of the show will be... Clean this off a little bit. That's what I like about this. So I can actually get the bristles down in there to do a little bit of excavating inside there. As you can see, it is indeed a P3. And it is, from what I read, the fastest Pentium 3 slot CPU they made. 1 gigahertz, 256 of cache, 133, running at 1.7 volts. There you have it. And that is the heatsink that came with this unit, so says something there. You know, this is the first time I actually found a 1 gigahertz slotted CPU. Blow some of that dust off there. Now usually whenever I find these Pentium 3s, they're running PC 133, PC 100, RAM. But this one is running some RAM bus. This is an oddball here. This is the first time I come across a Pentium 3 with RAM bus. The early Pentium 4s, I've seen that a few times. They were kind of short-lived, but I did not know these had Pentium 3 RAM bus. So I don't know if this thing will actually benefit from this or not. It could. I would assume it would. But it might also be why I don't see very many of these either. So, I'm going to give this a quick little spritz and clean some of this junk out of here. Oh, Almost lost my mic. Oh, one other thing that is interesting here is the fan that goes on the front of this little guy. Help cool the processor. And we got some very squishy foam here, which is actually in really good shape. It's not even peeling. Definitely a good vibration dampener foam. Anyway, so we get the 4-pin Molex that goes into it. Then we have another Molex connector with only 2 wires going into it. However, you can actually set the RPM speed through this control board. So that's kind of cool. So this definitely one of their higher end systems here. Now to show you the rear end of this. The butt of all jokes. So, there we go. Obviously, video card, sound card, modem, LAN, and like I was saying up here, like I said, that's an oddball. Only 3 USBs, which is kind of a nice thing, really. Definitely one of the higher end models. But yeah. So, oh yeah, we need to figure out what size power supply that is. Just kind of a generic one, bear with me. Delta Electronics. I'm reading hieroglyphics with English. This is a bit of a head scratcher here. I'm guessing the DPS 200 PV is probably going to be the wattage. Oh, it wasn't far off. 235 watts. So, not bad setup. And we got our floppy. Nothing else in there. Hard drive's been recycled apparently, so I'm going to have to scavenge one of those up again. I got one laying right here somewhere I'll use. Probably just going to go back in with the IDE. I mean, obviously that's what I had. Alright, now that we have this system operating, let's see if this, yes, this will help. Did a little bit digging around on this thing. It is based on the Intel i820 chipset, which is a really good chipset. It is running the RD RAM, otherwise known as RAM bus. And we got the Pentium slot 1 gigahertz CPU in this. Getting it back together, I didn't really have much of an issue. I put Windows 98 SE, of course, on this from my MSDN, probably getting the name wrong. Anyway, a collection of CDs for operating systems. MSDN? Anyway. Yeah, so, yeah, really this thing was pretty cut and dry to get it up and running. The biggest issue I had, it only took me 2 tries to get it working, was the Sound Blaster Live card, and that was just driver errors. Windows 98 trying to find the driver that was being installed even though it was already there. It just didn't really like it. So, yeah, a quick little overview of this thing, and I did max out this. It's actually, well, maxed out the settings for the desktop. It's actually pretty snappy. We can see here, 256 megabytes of RAM. It's arguing with the LAN of the network card. I don't really care. I don't have that set up in this shed just yet. That'll be for a bigger and better setup. So there we have the Sound Blaster, the video card, GeForce DDR, So yeah, it's really a sound system. And let's see, I guess we can do a quick run through Castle Wolfenstein. Now, this one I'm having issues with the sound. It gets a little glitchy. And you'll hear a little bit of it. It's coming from the sound card, and I think it's just driver issues. As you can kind of hear there, stuttering on itself. Like I said. It just has... It's irritating because this is the only one that's actually giving me fits with it. And this is the Platinum Edition of Return to Castle Wolfenstein. I think there was one more driver update, or not driver update, game update that they did to this. I'll be darned if I can find it anymore. It's so out there. I'm not trying to get anything because people are trying to move to the DOS box, kind of, sort of, and back and forth, and you got GOG out there. So trying to find the right update for the original software is kind of a pain in the butt. But yeah. Yeah, even I can't stand that. So, I'm done with that one. Now, let's see. I tried to do some overclocking with it, but the soft front side bus was not detecting this motherboard. Got some issues going on there that I need to figure out later on, of course. Of course, Doom works no problem, that's a given. In fact, I did the short with that one. So, now, backstory on this game with me. It was cool whenever it came out, but it's never been my cup of tea. And I already set up everything here, running DirectX 9. The video is showing up as the GeForce 256, PCI, SSE, all that happy jazz. I set it as the Creative EAX on the sound. Controls, probably would be easier to play with a flight stick. And I got it set on very high. The speed, as you can see there, Pentium 3, 1000 megahertz, 256 megabytes of RAM transfer speed 608 megabytes, VRAM is 168 megabytes of the transfer rate. So It's running pretty good. The biggest bottleneck you have right there is the CPU and the RAM. The RAM's able to run faster than the CPU's able to. I forgot about that. Yeah, before I get a copyright strike on that one. Probably get nailed on all these for copyrights. There you go, trainee. I'll turn the music off here. I love the music, but don't want to deal with that.
I'm Caitlin Harper, director of the Red Acropolis research team. We were wondering when you were going to come around. How do you feel?
Not bad, considering.
We brought you here for treatment. Don't worry, you're fine. Just a little too much radiation. But
Yeah, radiation never killed anybody. Just like tickling the dragon.
Welcome to Basic Flight and Weapons Training. You will learn about the basic controls of your ship, ranging from flight to weapons. Let's start with thrusting and sliding controls. You can move in any one of 6 directions, but for this exercise, only one control will be enabled at a time. Use the forward thrust. Return to your original position with the reverse thrust key. Use the slide left key to move to your left. Return to your position with the slide right. Now use the slide up key to move up.
Oh, that's confusing.
And finally, return to the start position. Good. Let's repeat the process quickly. Forward and reverse. Left and right. Up and down. Excellent. Now continue sliding down. In this exercise, your ship will remain in its current orientation. Using the arrows on the wall as a guide, maneuver the pyro through the tube using your thrusting and sliding controls. If you get too close to a wall, back up and determine your position. To fly at an angle, don't be afraid to use multiple sliding and thrusting directions at once.
These controls are
Excellent.
so confusing.
In this exercise, only your sliding controls remain active. Dodge incoming turret projectiles by sliding in any direction. The trick is to just keep moving, but try not to bump into the walls or the force field above you. Your ship will take no damage, but try to avoid getting hit for 20 seconds.
The
You're
way
almost done.
they have
Keep
these
up the good
mapped
work.
is stupid.
Excellent. Now, move forward toward the flashing green
But,
light to continue
yeah.
your training.
I don't want to continue my training. The controls on this thing suck. I'll have to go through and remap everything. But other than that, the system runs great. I'm very surprised with how it's going. There wasn't very many of these produced from what I'm gathering. It's actually kind of a rare board. But the fact that it's still doing what it's supposed to is just amazing. I'm sorry I didn't do any benchmarks with this. I still got a lot on my plate happening right now. But I am trying to get back into the groove of things. And I have a couple more fun little systems to play with later. Guess I can give you a little bit of a spoiler. Later on, I do have a sun system that was donated to me. I'm really excited to play with this. It is a 440 or 400. It's 400 something megahertz. But yeah, I'm excited to play with that. And let's see. I have a couple older microns that I would like to do some stuff with. Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm sorry I haven't been getting these videos out like I was for a while. So if anybody has any questions, comments, leave me a comment down below. Please do. Please hit that like button. It really helps me out quite a bit. And if you're not subscribed, please consider it. It helps this small channel keep growing. And eventually I can hit that 1,000 subscriber mark and get up there and start doing some more stuff. If you'd like to see, it'd really help me out, so that way we can see how far we can take this channel, and maybe we can move forward and do some bigger and better things here. This one is literally started out of a little shed. So think about it that way, and how much more we can do here. Where can we take this channel? I would appreciate it, and once again, thank you for everything, and